Okay.
I am
seat's so big
so
that
honored. I'm so honored to be here. I'm such a fan of Giada, and I could not be more excited to be on stage with you and have this conversation. So I'm just going to fangirl for a second because I watched you on TV. You taught me so much. So many things that people say to me today, like, oh, you make it look so easy. Like, you make it look so easy. And I would watch you whenever you were on TV. And to think that I could be on stage asking you questions about your 11th cookbook is just remarkable. So,
well, I'm a big fan as well, as probably everybody here knows. I love desserts, and I love your cupcakes.
Thank you.
I just think you're fabulous.
Likewise.
And so thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for
having me. And it should be a fun chat.
Yes, and this Super Italian, your new cookbook, is incredible. The Californian take on Italian cooking like really speaks to me, and I knew exactly what I was going to get when I heard that. I love that.
Wasn't that obvious?
Well, the power of ingredients, yes. You know, and it's like lighter, like the healthy part of Italian cooking that I really loved so much. And you know, your grandfather is named Dino. My husband calls me Dino.
But why?
But for me?
Yeah.
Because
well, I know why my grandfather's name is Dino. But I'm just wondering, why does your husband call you Dino?
Because when I was pregnant, I made dinosaur noises. So like
all through your pregnancy?
Like, I don't know. Like I made noises, and he would just say Dino Rex, and it stuck. I think it's a cute name, but I was like, oh my God, her grandfather's name was Dino. I told him.
Oh gosh. Well, you know, Dino is short for Agostino. So that's where that
and
comes
my
from.
Dino is short for
dinosaur. Yes.
Dinosaur.
Yes.
Okay, I swear I have questions prepared. So this is your 11th cookbook.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what it's like to write 11 cookbooks and how this book is different from your first?
Yes, I'm not going to make a joke out of this. I was going to, but I'm not going to. Well, first of all, thank you everybody for being here today. This is fun. I actually think these are really great because it's an opportunity for people to engage with us in a way that you don't get to do on social media or television or really any other way. So that's why it's fun to do these things. I will say that every cookbook, and it's probably for you because you had one, you have a second one now, right, coming out?
I have two.
Two, you have a third.
Maybe.
Okay, all right, well, I think every cookbook is sort of a different chapter in someone's life, right? Like we're all just living our own movie, and we are the lead in our own movie, and we're writing different chapters for ourselves. You know, there's the chapter when you are growing up and you have your first boyfriend and you go to college, then you like have children, you have a family, then you get old. Like they're just different chapters and different avenues. And this is a different chapter in my life. I'm now 54 years old, and I think that I am different today than my last book, which was at 50. Believe it or not.
I want to look like you when I'm 54 years old.
I think that what I came to understand after COVID was that what I had not forgotten, but what I hadn't really pinpointed was that ingredients were so important in how I grew up in Italian cooking. And it's those ingredients that were really also superfoods. Those were the things that my mom and Italians put in their food that is not just makes it a normal dish extra craveable, but actually is also nutritious. And I think that somewhere along the way, I disconnected with that a little bit. And during COVID, I started to reprioritize and really reconnect. And then after COVID, I started, I was deep in building this platform, Giada, that I run today as an entrepreneur. And I got to go back to Italy many, many times, like almost once a month, and really was able to reconnect with the producers that produce all of the products that we now sell on Giada. And I really realized, oh, okay, I get it. It's all these special superfoods, these ingredients, that then get folded into other dishes like condiments, which is probably my favorite chapter in the whole book, that you add to all these dishes that we love that give them superpowers, basically. nutritious, and craveability. And that's what this book is all about. And it's literally broken up that way. This is what you need for your pantry. These are the superfoods that make Italian cooking what it is. Next comes the condiments that you can make on a weekend and keep for a week or two in your fridge. And now how to use those condiments to create recipes and dishes that you freaking love, like sheet pan chicken parm, or sheet pan lasagna, or desserts like orange.
Lasagna went viral.
That sure did. Yes, because you take something that people understand and love and turn it into something that is like you do well.
The mass appeal.
Yes, and
I
we
totally
do
get it.
And so, but there's desserts in the book that use like citrus, which is one of the superfoods, and olive oil, again, one of the superfoods. There's cocktails that use things like amaro, which is a digestive that helps break down the alcohol in your body. Like all these things that I honestly never really thought about that much, how they worked throughout the body and how they made me feel, that I realized, oh, if you change the ingredients and really use the best possible ingredients you can find, simple techniques, and you eat them with people that you love, you end up feeling fabulous. And you end up with the last superfood in my book, which is la dolce vita.
I love it. I love it. I feel like you may have just answered my second question.
I tend to do that. Just be careful.
Well, okay.
Okay, we're done talking.
I'm going to read it anyway.
Go ahead and read it. Yes.
In the introduction of Super Italian, you mentioned that over the past few years, your approach to food has changed, which you just told us about. So I'm going to skip that one, and we're going to go on to the next one. What does putting your own health needs on the front burner look like? You mentioned in the introduction of the book that you do that. And what are some other things you've been doing that have had a positive impact on your life and well-being, maybe outside of the superfoods and these ingredients?
Yeah, I think that every 10 years, we talked about this a little bit in the green room, how every decade, at least for a woman, I don't know about men, because I'm not a man, but every decade for us ladies, life really changes, and you really feel it. And I will say that 50 to 54, I'm almost 55 this summer, I would say that, things, your energy changes no matter what you do. It's just your body, like it's funny because we were in the green room, and I walked into the green room, and it smelled like paint. And I was like, oh no, I am so sensitive, like my eyes are gonna start burning, they started to burn, so I opened all the windows, everybody's freezing back there. Okay, well, if this happened 10 years ago, that would not be a problem. I just came from the Tonight Show, where I stood behind, they have all of those black curtains, and I was standing there for a long time because Jimmy was changing and whatever, and I started to realize I'm gonna cough because I'm allergic to whatever these drapes are made of, or there must be dust, and I just started getting terrible sinus, like just postnasal drip down my top of my nose and in my throat, and I started to cough, and the stage manager was like, oh my goodness, are you gonna be okay? I'm like, not if we don't wrap this up and do this fast. And those, I know those are the kind of things, it changes. Life really changes, and it's hard for you to control it anymore. But what I realized was that being really smart about what I eat, when I eat, and how many times a day I eat has changed the way I feel. The energy level and just the ability to do this job, because this job takes a lot of energy. People don't realize, but it's a lot. And so those things have really helped. So eating, I do yoga, and really not for anything other than, because I tend to do this a lot, because I've spent so much time over a stove, so to open it up so I can actually breathe, which gives me clarity and helps me sleep and all that stuff. So I do yoga. I have 4 animals, which I just love. They're like my babies.
What animals?
I have 3 dogs and a cat, all different size dogs. I have like an 8-pound dog, and then I have a 14-pound dog, and then I have a 95-pound dog.
Do you have that litter box we were talking about?
Yeah. Yes, and I have a cat. And I think that they keep me grounded. Like when they want something, I have to stop everything I'm doing, right? So I got these animals because as my daughter grows up, she needs me less and less. And she, I feel like they pay more attention to me sometimes than she does and have more time for me. So something to cuddle with that isn't my daughter, because she doesn't really want to cuddle because she's almost 17 and she has her own life. So they have really helped me a lot. I love baths with like magnesium salt and baking soda and lavender oil. I'm getting very detailed here. But I really like it. I love dandelion tea at night for detoxification. Like, I literally do all these rituals because I think they really help heal me and keep me going, truly.
Yeah, I believe in all of that. You talk about enjoying every bite. That hits home because I totally agree. I enjoy every bite. What are some of your all-time favorite bites or recipes from the book? Maybe a bite that's not in the book and one that is.
Okay. Well, one of the things I do love that's not in the book is what I made with Jimmy tonight, which was my chocolate pasta. That is an indulgence I do not eat very often, but if it's really a bad day, it's not a bad thing. So I cook pasta.
Okay.
He happened to do spaghetti, but I usually do a short pasta, much easier to toss. Then I take chocolate hazelnut spread. So when I was a kid, it was Nutella. But we all know Nutella is not really that great for you. Lots of seed oils, there really aren't any hazelnuts. So I use a Giada chocolate hazelnut spread that has real hazelnuts and very little sugar and no seed oils.
So
anyway,
I'm gonna have to get
mix
that.
it.
It's my kid's favorite thing in the world.
Okay, so then cook the pasta, keep a little bit of the pasta water to thin out the chocolate, okay? I toss it all together, and then I shave a little piece of chocolate, it can be torrone, it can be anything, over the top as a little Parmesan cheese garnish, but it's not Parmesan, it's chocolate, and then I eat it.
So it's like elevated Buddy the Elf.
Yes!
And it sounds amazing.
It's amazing. Yes, it's amazing.
It's almost like,
but it's like
Nutella on like bread, but pasta.
But pasta, yeah, which always freaks people out. But I'm like, why does it freak you out? It's just a starch.
And
just we just suck it down.
It's
fun. It tastes great. It makes me feel good. It's like a warm hug. Sorry, but it's
I'm
fabulous.
Gonna try
and
that.
if you've never tried it, I recommend. Highly recommend.
So what's your favorite recipe? Could you pick a favorite?
I mean, that's like picking a child, but yes, I can. I will tell you that my boyfriend Shane, who's in the audience, who's also one of my parts of my Dolce Vita, I will say he loves the sheet pan chicken parm. He is from New Jersey. He loves his chicken parmesan, and he loves that one. Also, he loves the sheet pan lasagna. I think my daughter likes that one. Jade likes that one even more. Chicken piccata meatballs. He has mastered, and I think he's very proud of himself that he can make these meatballs. And they've got capers, and they're tangy, and they're just fabulous over anything. Orange olive oil cake.
Yum.
Limoncello martini is really good.
Is there I saw on Instagram you and Jade made this like pasta, I'm forgetting the name of it, but like, you know how Italians have their pasta dish with the parm and butter. So like, is there like a
pastina?
Yes, pastina.
Yeah.
No.
I don't have a pastina in this book because pastina has a lot of butter and a lot of cheese. And yes, we made that with Jade. I believe that one even had milk or heavy cream in it.
It made me want it. Like,
yeah.
I need it.
Yeah. Well, that is also comfort food when you're a little kid. That's almost like the first pasta that we make in Italy for our children when they start to eat solid food. We go from baby food to that. Can you imagine? Baby food, not a lot of fat, to that.
Yeah.
Tons. Yeah. But I'm telling you, it's a hit every time. Every time.
Do you and Jade cook a lot together?
When Jade wants to, yes.
Yes.
Yes. It's all on Jade's time. So she'll DM me, usually, on Instagram, yeah, and send me videos and say, Mom, let's make this together.
Oh, I get that.
Yes. And sometimes, she'll say to me, I've sent you like 3 DMs. You don't answer me. And I'm like, because I'm not on my DMs all the time. Try to text me then. It might be easier to talk to me. But yeah, we've made a lot of those dishes. I've met a lot of influencers through her too, just because she pulls their content and then tells me, she's like, I will cook with you if we cook this. And so, but I've met a lot of people through her, and made a lot of connections, and I feel like she keeps me relative. Otherwise, right?
You're doing pretty good.
So anything I can do to hang out with my kid, I'll do it. We've made dumb stuff, we've made gross stuff that I don't want to taste. And then some good stuff too.
Like the trending stuff.
Yeah, some of the trending stuff, guys, is like.
Did you make cloud bread?
Yeah.
it was not good.
No, but that's my point, is that not everything on TikTok is good. I can kind of, I know by looking at
totally.
it, but I try not to be like, because, she's always like, oh, Mom, it's cool. Can we just try it? I'm like, yeah, we'll try it. But then when it comes to tasting it, I have to actually put it in my mouth, which is like, I can't tell you how many times I've turned around and been like,
yeah. But then you're just being authentic.
Yeah, but I don't leave that on camera because I feel like maybe that won't be taken so well. But yeah, so Jade she sort of guides me. She guides me.
I get that.
A lot.
Like I have a 9-year-old guiding me right now.
There you go. Yeah. But it's good.
Totally. I love it.
It's the best.
It is joy.
Yeah. And she'll keep you young and, part of that young world forever. She'll show you things that you'll never see yourself.
True.
Just the way it is.
So when it comes to eating, and like everything actually, I am a creature of habit. Like,
we all are.
So are you? And if you are, like, what does a typical day of eating look like for you?
Oh, God. Okay, well, I'm on a protein kick. So
Same.
I think that's the trend right now, right? Especially for us
Makes
ladies.
you feel good, yeah.
It gives us energy.
Keeps you satiated.
Yes, satiate, I love that word. So I start my day, don't freak out everybody, but I start my day with, first thing, warm chicken broth, 1 cup with collagen powder every morning. I love chicken broth. I've found that it's like super soothing. I like hot things in the morning. Some people like cold things. I do not like cold things in the morning. Then I either make buckwheat cereal with olive oil. And
I read that here.
Yep. Or oatmeal if I'm on the road, because buckwheat cereal is tough to find. But oatmeal you can find anywhere, even at the airport. Like I'll take the Starbucks one and won't put all the other stuff in, but I'll put the nuts and if I can get some olive oil or something, otherwise. And then coffee. I love an Americano. And for years, guys, I used to put packets and packets and packets of sugar in it. I have cut all that sugar out now.
You feel so much better.
I feel so much better. The coffee still energizes me, but the sugar doesn't take me down 30 minutes later. So it's really been helpful. And then after that, all bets are off because the day just goes. So some kind of protein, some veggies. I love legumes. I eat a lot of beans. I love that. Fresh herbs and everything. A lot of citrus. My dressings are apple cider vinegar, lemon, a little bit of parm because I just love Parmesan. In fact, I have like you can use this Parmesan dressing on just about everything, but it's got a tiny bit of maple syrup, just a tiny bit, lemon, apple cider vinegar, really good olive oil, a little Dijon to thicken it a little bit, and then I just keep a big jar and I use that on everything. So a lot of condiments in there that I use on a lot of different things.
I feel like I didn't give enough time and attention to your condiments section.
Well,
my favorite
I don't know if we have time for the condiments section, but if everybody gets a book, they'll see it. And
the meatless mains, like I think, like every meatless main, like I'm going to make. They look
it's interesting because I get a lot of comments about vegetarian. Always, even since I started cooking on TV, even a lot of people were like, more meatless recipes, more meatless recipes. My mom is a vegetarian, for the most part, so I've been making those for her forever. So a lot of them are inspired by her in there.
That's awesome. Do you take any supplements or vitamins?
Yeah.
Just curious.
Don't we all?
I mean, yes.
I mean, doesn't everybody?
But like, there's like the vitamins and then there's the supplements. Different.
Yes. Right.
But you dandelion
well,
tea.
So I don't do like a multivitamin. That I don't do. But I do like, I do probiotics. I do prebiotics. I do like vitamin C and vitamin D and magnesium, tons of different kinds of magnesium to sleep. I do dandelion tea. I do something like some bergamot citrus, something that helps with my cholesterol because I have high cholesterol. I mean, listen, it can go on and on and on. When I travel, it's very minimal. That's when I tell myself I'm going to take a break from taking all this stuff. Like I feel like we all need breaks. Like there has to be a break for our system. So when I'm traveling, and that's usually when people pack everything, I have the opposite feeling. I'm like, nope, this is my break. And then I'll go back on it when I get home.
Smart.
Well, I mean, it works for me. I don't know if it's going to work for everybody, but for me, it works. Yeah.
You already told me what your favorite section of the book is.
So do you take vitamins?
I do. I go through
And what do you
phases.
take?
I take a woman's like a Metagenics pack of vitamins every morning.
It's
it's
pre-packaged?
pre-bundled for women. And then there's
All women?
No, women
you're not like
under
every
50.
Woman. Oh, I see.
And then there's one for
She takes the under 50,
I do.
so I guess I would be taking the over 50. Oh, man.
I don't take it every day because it's a lot of vitamins.
How many?
It's like 6.
That's not a lot of vitamins.
It's.
I mean, I probably take 30 pills. What?
Really?
Yeah.
I also don't eat breakfast. My morning, I am a very, I wake up, I have
a routine.
I
Go.
have cold brew first.
See?
You're not supposed to.
No.
You're supposed to have water, but I have cold brew. And then I wake up very early and I go work out.
What's very early?
Like 4 o'clock in the morning.
What time do you go to bed at
my
night?
kids are young and I need my self-care.
Yeah, but they're 9 and 6. They don't
you're
get
right.
up at crack of
You're
dawn.
right. I
They're
started
still,
doing this
and
3
they're girls.
years ago.
They sleep in.
But it's amazing. But so
4
I live in an apartment. I live 2 of my best friends live on the other side of walls.
That's cool.
There are 4 of us.
It's like a dorm.
I meet my roommate Jamie, who lives on the other side of the wall on the staircase at 4:38 a.m. And
Does Jamie have children?
She does, and she hates waking up early, and she pretends that she doesn't enjoy it. But
And what do you guys go and do at 4:30?
Well, there's Monday is HIIT, Tuesday's
There's
solid
classes
core.
at 4:30 in the morning in New York City?
In Hoboken.
You have to go to Hoboken?
I live in Hoboken.
But there's okay. I thought
I
you
would
lived in the
not
city.
do that. I know there are classes at 5 a.m., but there aren't as many as I would like.
Of course not, because nobody else is doing it at 5 a.m.
You know what? If you drink this juice for 2 weeks, you'll be hooked. It is nobody is awake. It's amazing.
Nobody is. Yes.
I am in a very overstimulated phase of my life because I am the CEO of Baked by Melissa. I'm the social media manager of Baked by Melissa currently, and accidental influencer and mom of a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old, and they are my priority, and I have to be there. I go to all the things,
Do you
except
sleep,
I can't
honey?
take them to the book
Do you
fair
sleep?
this week. I sleep. I'm gonna be, it's gonna be.
Oh, we're going past Melissa's
tonight.
bedtime, so let's wrap
Wait,
this
so
up.
I drink water with lemon and
Okay.
a little bit of salt, and and if I have a headache, I take that, and it makes the headache go away. And I take turmeric pills.
Yes.
2 turmeric pills.
Those are supposed to be really good. I don't do that.
I actually posted a link to my favorite things or something, and the guy from the website that sells the turmeric pills reached out, and he was like, we contacted Shopify because we thought our website was broken because all of these purchases were coming through within 5 minutes.
That's amazing.
The turmeric pills.
All right, I'll get the turmeric pills.
They make you glow.
I'm gonna get the turmeric pills from you later. Okay.
They're really great. Oh, they got started. Oh, Jamie, my neighbor that I work out with, made me these cards, which was so
What do you mean? She wrote it
my
for you?
printer wasn't working.
Oh.
So I was like, can you print this piece of paper for me? And I was gonna do it. And
Jamie comes in really handy. Good thing she lives on the other side of the wall.
yeah,
I'm not sure that you would survive
just
without
learned-
Jamie. I'm getting the hint of that.
I learned how to use my resources, Giada.
It's smart.
know?
That's what we all got to do.
All right.
Yes.
Another question.
Okay, another question.
I feel like you've probably, maybe not. Italians are known for their long, healthy lives, even while enjoying indulgent foods like pasta, pizza, and gelato. What's the secret? How can you incorporate indulgence into a healthy lifestyle?
I think the whole audience could answer this question. I bet. I mean, I think it's important to indulge. I do think that we can't live our lives so strict all the time. I think that's going to be really, really hard for all of us. And I think we have to find a balance. Whatever that balance, it's different for everybody. Everybody, we're so individual. I think we all learned at COVID, we're very much individuals. And what works for one person doesn't, for me, if I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning every day, I'd be a basket case. I will get up at 4 o'clock in the morning tomorrow because I have to do the Today Show. And I will be a basket case by the
Which will
by
be like 2
mid-afternoon.
o'clock in the morning
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you.
I'm gonna have to DM you and be like, "What was it that you said you did to bring
I'll
it all back to
respond right
life?"
away at 4 a.m.
Yeah, because I can't do that, right? So I think that we have to start to learn that yes, we can all share what we do, but different things work for different people, and you got to try it out for yourself. But I will tell you this: that you got to enjoy your life. The people that you eat with and you spend your time with, you need to really like them. It's really, really, really important. And I think that you gotta like yourself too, because when you're eating the food, I feel like we eat and we're like just shoving food down our throats because we got 20 minutes till the next meeting or we gotta go do something. And we don't do that in Italy. We sit and we enjoy our company, and even if we're alone, we enjoy ourselves and we enjoy what we're eating. And we don't have so much stimulation around us when we do that. Like we're watching TV or reading our DMs or reading emails while we're trying. Like we need to take it down a notch.
I agree.
Because that's the only way we're surviving. Eventually, we're all gonna burn out otherwise. And I think people are starting to realize, oh yeah, that's what the burnout is. It's just overstimulation.
Overstimulation.
All the time.
Totally. I want to get to audience questions because
Okay.
those are always the best ones. But first, let's do quick rapid fire.
Okay, go.
Lunch or dinner?
Lunch.
Ooh, chocolate or vanilla?
Duh.
I know. Capers or olives?
Oh, that's a tough one. Olives.
What kind?
Castelvetrano.
Yay! They're the best. I know this was a silly one. Lemon or lime?
Lemon.
I know.
You like limes because I saw you use.
No, a lemon.
But I saw it in your guacamole. You were like lime. I mean lime. I like lemon.
Maybe that
And
was
by the
like
way,
the one
hate
video
cilantro.
I used.
Hate cilantro. Yeah, just so you know, you can love guacamole and hate cilantro at the same time.
I mean, I thought I hated cilantro until I started to
I hate
love
cilantro.
it.
It tastes like soap. No.
So
It's
you have
always
do you
Italian
Believe,
flat leaf parsley.
do you believe in the gene?
What?
Do you believe in the gene?
Oh, that's your cue. Do I believe in the gene?
You know, people have a gene that
Yes.
makes them not
Well,
like.
I think I have the
so
gene
you have
because I
the gene.
friggin' hate it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Best dessert. That was it's rapid fire.
Chocolate. Anything chocolate. Anything.
Right, I saw it.
Because
if you were stuck on a desert island, you would have olive oil and chocolate.
And I could survive.
And then that was going to be one of my rapid fire, and then I was like, oh, I know the answer.
What's your favorite?
What? Dessert?
Yes.
Bite-sized cupcakes.
Okay, but if it was... That was good. That was good.
Rapid fire.
But what if it's not yours? Come on.
Ice cream.
Okay. A flavor?
Chocolate.
Okay. Straight chocolate.
With like salt.
Okay.
A little bit of salt.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Ready?
Yes.
What is the one ingredient in your kitchen you must have at all times?
Olive oil.
And love you. There's love you.
Are there names on this so I can call them out?
No.
No. Okay. Olive oil and I love you too.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
What is the best way to cook octopus so that it is tender and not chewy? And this is from Lisa
Oh, so Lisa put her name.
Vanacore.
Lisa, are you still here? Even though it's so dark, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
Hi. Do you cook octopus often?
Definitely every Christmas Eve, obviously.
And does it not come out tender? Is that what's happening?
So sometimes it does, but the big thing is like people say put pork in the water, like a live pork, and let it cook with that. And I don't know, like,
There's a lot of like,
or a piece of it's a piece of Italian bread. My aunt used to say cut the end of the Italian bread in and put it in the water and let the octopus cook with the pork in the water.
yeah, the pork my family does as well.
Yeah.
We don't do it in the restaurants, and it comes pretty tender, but we do sous vide it, which really helps with the tender, and then we grill it, which really helps also. So, but the pork is the way my family always did it. Yeah. It also depends on what octopus you're getting. I hate to tell you, but like, this goes back to ingredients and where you're getting them.
Yeah.
You gotta get that kind of stuff from someone you really trust. But sometimes when they're sitting a little too long or they're frozen for too long, it changes the structure of the actual meat, and you could boil it with pork for 100 years and it still would be tough. So I think that's part of it. But the pork should work if it's
Pork? Or cork? I heard a cork.
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 Sorry, cork.
Cork.
Yes, cork. Yeah, like a wine cork. Yeah. Yeah.
I've never cooked octopus.
I cook it every once in a while, but it's not often.
But
My
but
aunt
good
does it
octopus
more than
is
I do
amazing.
for Christmas Eve. Yes, but my family, there's only a few people that like octopus. You know, even at the restaurants, we sell it, but not great. There's
get
still
it.
a lot of people who are like, eh, or they've had bad octopus.
What music do you listen to while you're cooking? Thank you, Jeannie. Jeannie?
Oh, that's a good question, Jeannie.
Jeannie?
Are you still here, Jeannie?
Janine.
Janine.
Sorry, it was
Hi,
at the
Janine.
end.
What kind of music do I listen to?
Do you
Well,
listen to music while you're cooking?
It depends. It depends. Sometimes I listen to music, but not always. To be completely honest, a lot of times I like a little bit of quiet because there's a lot all day, every day, even with my animals. It's just a lot of noise all the time. So cooking for me is a time to decompress. And actually quiet time when I'm cooking, to me, is the best. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you have a glass of wine and you have music. And what? No, I like to go into a place where I'm just cooking for myself or cooking in my own world without a camera, without talking to anybody. It's the best.
Same. But my
Okay.
husband listens, like if I'm like walking in the front door and I hear Bob Marley, I know he's cooking. Like
Oh, so he only likes Bob Marley?
he listens to Bob Marley and cooks. Like if he's cooking, Bob Marley is on.
Well, my parents used to listen to Luciano Pavarotti, so I definitely don't listen to that. So I was like, when I was a kid, I was like, not again! Or Julio Iglesias was another one that was huge in my house. Huge. Yeah. Silence. Thank you.
Oh. What? Is it in, like, are you curious when I do
Yes.
that?
Every time you look at the card and you're like, wow, I'm thinking, what is going to come out of her mouth next?
I just want to make sure. Okay. What is your favorite ingredient pairing across different savory dishes?
What is my favorite ingredient pairing across all savory dishes?
Across different savory dishes.
Well, I guess, would that be olive oil, Parmesan cheese? I love capers. I like to add capers to just about everything. I love the tanginess. I
Do
really
you just like get capers out of a jar? Do you like special capers?
I carry some capers that I really like. A lot of them are from the
Giada.
South, yes, and they
.com.
are in salt. Yeah, preserved in salt. They're caper berries. They're really big too.
Yeah, I have
which I
big
love
ones.
to eat
Like
them.
I have bigger ones in my refrigerator.
Yes.
Oh, wait, the caper berries. I just had my first caper berry this year.
They even make caper leaves that are
so
salted,
good.
that are like potato chips that you can crumble over food. Like in Italy, we use all parts of the caper berry bush, right? And
Oh.
even the leaves, right? So, yeah.
What do you use caper berries in?
I chop them up and I use them sometimes in the meatballs that are in the book. In the
Oh.
book, I wrote them with just regular small. But in Italy, we use, depending on where you live, they grow wild. So we usually just chop them up
Yum.
and add them to all sorts of different dishes. They're basically the same. They're a little bit more tangy, but really they're the same. I
They're
love
like
them.
older, right?
Yeah, they're older. Mhm.
Is there a specific part of Italy that has inspired your cooking the most? And that question is from Amanda.
Amanda, that's a good question. Well, my grandfather was from Naples, so I like making a lot of Neapolitan dishes, or infuse a lot of that culture into my food, that fresh tomato, the olive oil. I'm very much steeped more in the southern Italian cooking than in the northern Italian cooking, only because that's how I grew up. The South uses a lot of Parmigiano Reggiano. We use a lot of great olive oil. We use a lot of fresh tomatoes and passatas. We use, all of those types of products more than the butters and the heavy cheeses in the north. So I would say the South, probably Naples, lately Sicily. a lot of Sicilian food, a lot of seafood. Yeah, I think even Roman food, because I grew up in Rome and I was born in Rome. I moved here when I was 7 years old, but my parents made a lot of Roman dishes.
Where was your grandfather's Italian specialty store?
Oh, well, that was in the US. So my grandfather's family, his mother made pasta. And this is before World War II. And he and his siblings would go door to door in Naples and in Torre-Annunziata, where they lived, and sell pasta. And but when he moved to the States, my family's in the movie business. My grandfather has made he's passed now, but he had made in his life 600 movies in 60 years, a lot of movies. And so in the US, he opened some gourmet shops, one in New York in Trump Tower, here, Midtown, and then one in Beverly Hills. Yeah, and that's kind of where I realized, oh, this can be amazing. I might just do this when I grow up.
And when you moved to the States, you lived here?
I lived here for a couple of years.
In Manhattan?
In Manhattan. Mm-hmm.
Where?
Right by, right across the street from the park. And then we moved to Los Angeles, where I grew up. Yeah, and I still live in LA. So yeah.
Cool. Are there, sorry, I'm piggybacking off of Amanda's
That's
question.
fine.
Are there any?
Amanda, great question.
Are there any dishes that you make that were generational?
Yeah, like pizza spaghetti. Have you had that? Have you heard of that? Has anybody heard of pizza spaghetti?
Like spaghetti pizza?
Yeah. So you take leftover pasta, you add eggs and parm. What's that?
Spaghetti pie. That's what we called it.
Okay, see, yeah, spaghetti pie, pizza spaghetti, it depends on, but anyway, it's a very southern thing to do. You take the leftover pasta, you add eggs and parm to it, put it in a fry pan, fry one side, flip it, fry the other side, cut it like pizza with a pair of scissors, dip it in tomato sauce. And that was like dinner.
Leftover spaghetti, egg, parm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you don't have leftover spaghetti, my mom would just make it.
Yeah.
Just plain.
I feel like my kids would love
cares?
that.
Yeah, and some people call it spaghetti pie. I mean, any southerner has a version of it. It's not a northern thing. Like if you ask somebody from Florence, Liguria, Tuscany, they'll be like, "What?" But it is. And but they actually make.
You've made it on one of your shows.
I did make it on one of my shows. Yeah, in the north they make riso al salto, which is similar, usually made with risotto alla milanese, which has saffron in it, and they flatten it. They do the same thing, and they fry it in a pan, and they eat that. So every area in Italy has their own version of this. Just depends on, do you make more rice or do you make more pasta? Yeah.
Italian food is often associated with pasta, cheese, and rich sauces. What are some of your fave ways to lighten up classic dishes without losing their soul?
That's a great question because that's pretty much my entire career has been that. Yeah. So it's kind of, Italian food isn't really all those things. It's just, that's what has been introduced in this country as what it really is. It's really Italian-American food. It's not really Italian food. I think that, I lighten up most things. So like instead of making an Alfredo, which is technically heavy, right? I make it a lemon spaghetti. And I lighten it by not adding all that cream and making a really thick velvety sauce by whisking together lemon juice, pasta water, garlic, tons of parm, and olive oil. And that, when you whisk it together, makes like this lovely creamy sauce that you put over pasta, but it doesn't have any cream or butter in it. So it's just taking things that people love and lightening them ever so much. My sheet pan lasagna, instead of being a layered lasagna that is pretty heavy, you toss it in your sauce, right? You put a little, maybe chicken sausage, something a little lighter, turkey sausage. You could use pork and beef, whatever, but I do something lighter. And then the ricotta and the spinach just gets some quenelles, like little spoonfuls dolloped on top, but it's not heavy and rich and it's thin, right? So once you put it in the oven, it gets crispy.
When was the first time you made the sheet pan lasagna?
When was it?
Yeah. Like, is it a newer recipe or is it a recipe?
It is a newer recipe. It's probably now a couple of years old.
I get served that video on Facebook all the time. It's the weirdest thing.
Oopsie.
No, but I don't, like,
I don't know why
sometimes
that
I
is.
question
I
if
think
it's
it's the
even like from
algorithm.
your account. Like it's like
No, I think it's just the Facebook
like other
algorithm.
people like reposting
Yeah.
it maybe.
Well, I think it's because we all of us have grown up in some version of lasagna, right? We all know it. So this is sort of a reinvention of that dish, so much faster, and in my opinion, lighter and even better. And so,
And all the crispy.
and the crispy bits on the top are the best. And we use we use tacole, which is a pasta from the south that looks like basically broken up lasagna noodles. You can definitely use broken up lasagna noodles, but we specifically in southern Italy use tacole for that specific pasta.
And then it like.
The ridges, yeah.
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 Oh, this is a two questions on one card.
Okay.
How often do you get to speak Italian?
Actually, I spoke Italian tonight at Fallon. There was a Broadway actor there who spent time living in northern Italy, and he came into my dressing room and we were just chit-chatting in Italian. So just tonight I did. But not as often as I'd like, because my daughter doesn't speak it, Shane doesn't speak it, nobody that is around me speaks it. So
When you go to Italy, do you speak
Yes.
like
and I will tell you that when I go to Italy, it takes me a minute to like get day 2 and 3, I'm so much better. Day 1, I'm so rusty. It's like, oh, and then it's like it goes back in. Yeah, my mom speaks to me in Italian,
when
and
you
my
moved
aunt.
here, you spoke Italian's your first language,
Yes, it was tough. I flunked first grade.
right? Do you remember when you stopped dreaming in Italian?
I mean, they say that, I don't remember, but I would say that my toughest thing was that my parents refused to speak to us in English. And that was hard. That was really, really hard because I'd be in school to speak English and then I'd come home and it was only Italian.
That's very common though.
Very, yes. But thank goodness because I wouldn't speak Italian today if they did
Right.
not do that. But it's common for immigrants at a certain time. Like I immigrated into this country in the 70s, right? But people who immigrated much earlier in the early 1900s, they dropped languages because they really wanted to assimilate. There was no way. In the 70s, it was still okay, right? It wasn't cool by any means. Like I'm the kid that had, chocolate sandwiches for lunch, or I'd have leftover pasta. Those are the days in the 70s. I mean, you weren't born, but people had bologna sandwich and peanut butter and jelly, and that was the extent of kids' lunches. I'm having a gourmet meal that's leftovers or pizza spaghetti, and kids were like, "Get away from me, you freak!" And that was my childhood here and then my mom would pick me up and speak to me in Italian, and it was so freaking embarrassing that I did not want anybody coming to my house ever. It was humiliating.
My husband's Israeli and I'm American. I don't speak Hebrew, but all the Israelis we know, they just speak Hebrew at like.
After all these years,
Yeah, like.
do you understand?
So like my brother and sister-in-law are both Israeli and they speak Hebrew to the kids. I understand the right amount. I could relax or I could engage,
It's not an easy language either. Wow. Okay.
But
Okay.
but my point is that like
Yes.
I see like immigrants speak the other language all the time.
Right. Okay. But if you go back in time, they actually.
Right. It was the opposite.
It was the exact, and they didn't want their kids speaking.
Right. They wanted to be American.
Correct. Yeah.
But now look at them. It's different.
Yes. Now it's different. But yeah. But I wouldn't be. Okay. Well. Yeah.
I get it. All right. Part
You
two.
get it? Okay. What's part 2?
Part 2. Do you believe your trips to Italy helped you better with your last book?
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't have written this book if I didn't have that time to go do that. I really think sometimes things happen in life that they switch your trajectory and they switch you take a different road that I never would have probably taken because I would have stayed on that road for so much longer, right? But I think COVID happened and I just reprioritized. I left Food Network. I did so many things I never thought I would do. And I think life's a journey. I think I was ready for something new. And yes, I think that had I not been a part of this entrepreneurial journey with Jodzi and building that and leaving Food Network and taking more trips to Italy, also because my daughter was older, so it made it a lot easier. When you have little children, it's tough to leave. I would not have written this book, no, yeah. That's why I say it's a new chapter.
I love it. Cool. That was the last one.
All right.
Two more.
What's that?
There's two more.
Okay. Do you want to read them, or do you want to?
Okay, sure, I'll read it.
Okay.
Your skin is beautiful and glowing, and we all want to know what your skin regimen is and your beauty secrets. Other than your 60 pills, what else do you do?
Well, I have an amazing makeup artist who's in the front row. But I try not, okay, so my brother died of skin cancer, not to be a bummer all of a sudden, about 17 years ago. He was 30 when he died of melanoma. And from a burn from when we were kids. Because when we were kids, we spent a lot of time on the beaches, and my mom didn't know. I mean, my mom was one of those parents who grew up putting a mirror up to her face and body to get a tan. I know that's not cool now, but in the 70s, that's what people did, especially Europeans. They had the bain de soleil tan 24/7. And so as little kids, we would just have little bottoms, and we would just run around in the sun all day, unprotected. And my brother ended up with a mole that sadly turned into cancer and sadly killed him within 18 months of being diagnosed, and he just turned 30. And I think that put the fear of God in me, and he was only 2 years younger than me. No sun touches my face and my neck and my chest, zero. And I am hyper diligent with sunscreen. I don't do that. I never see the sun on my face. I think that has really helped me age with wrinkles, I will say. Even living in California, which is hard to do that because we have sun 24/7. I will say that I exfoliate my skin almost every night. I make a olive oil and rice flour mix, and I exfoliate a lot because I wear makeup a lot, and I find that it really messes with my skin. I do microdermabrasion. Do you guys know what that is? Some of you ladies might know what that is. Yes, where they literally take off your dead skin. I drink a shit of water, a lot of water to hydrate, and I also hydrate with olive oil on my face. Now, this is only for people who have dry skin, because if you don't have dry skin, that is the worst thing you could do for yourself.
But I was thinking about this the other day. So you take the olive oil out of your cabinet. Is it the same?
The Ligurian olive oil that I use to cook with, yes.
So it's
the Giada olive oil that we import from Liguria, which is incredibly mild, guys. Northern olive oil, mild. As you move south, the heat intensifies, so do the olives, so does the olive oil.
So you put it on a cotton pad and you
No, on my hands.
You just...
Yeah, just go like this. Yeah, because wrinkles and makeup, it's terrible.
But it's because, it's the beef tallow. Have you heard that? People are rubbing beef tallow all
I'm
over
not doing that, though, no.
This is just olive oil.
No, I'm not doing that. Just olive oil, yeah. But this olive oil, only because I've tried other olive oils. It's either too greasy or it's too, my skin's sensitive, so if it's spicy or anything else, it'll irritate my skin. I don't want an irritant, So, no. None of that kind of stuff.
And otherwise you have dry skin.
I have dry skin. Well, I used to have normal skin,
but
now that I'm 50, over 50, yes, your skin sadly, it gets really dry, and traveling makes it worse.
Oh, yeah.
I hydrate a lot. Even with the little hydration, I use something, it's a little packet called Needed. It doesn't have sugar in it or whatever, but I add that to my water too because it really helps. Because you can drink a lot of water, but if your body doesn't actually absorb it, you need the electrolytes to kind of boost your system. And so I never used to do that, believe it or not, but now, again, just one more thing to add to the stuff that you have to do.
So work hard now so I have time to take care of myself.
Products that are European.
Yeah.
Because they test a lot more. And they're just, I find better for my skin, and they don't dry me out. So, anything else? Any other questions?
There was one more, right? Or was that a two-part?
I have an add-on.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought it was
Yeah.
Other than finding calm while you're cooking, where else do you find calm
I wish I could meditate. I've really tried to meditate. Somehow I can't. I know it's like, I've had so many people tell me to meditate. I just can't seem to meditate. Well, for me, cooking is meditation. For me, the bath is meditation. For me, the animals, when I can just lie down and be with them, is meditation. Caressing my cat is even meditation. Walks with them. Watching my daughter just get ready to go out on a date, to me, is like awesome. I don't know, I think it's moments for me like that, because somehow I can't put myself in a room and shut my thoughts,
I get
you know? So I think that's part of, and also I have a 30-minute evening routine of going to bed, and that also winds me down.
Tell us more.
Oh, well, I have to clean my face and floss, and cleaning my face takes forever, as
So the olive oil and the
that's
rice
after
flour.
I clean. Yeah, but I have to take everything off first. I use a product that like my grandmother used, and nobody's gonna know it, but
What is it?
it's called Janet Sarton. It's from Janet Sarton. I know, nobody knows it because it's ancient. It's ancient, and it came
Probably
from
great.
England.
Yeah.
Anyways, I still use it to this day, and that's how I take my makeup off. And then there's a cleanser, and then there's the scrub.
And then you rinse
And
that
then
off?
I rinse that off with a super fatted
But
cream
it-
from Janet Sarton.
Wait,
and
so you rinse it off
then-
with a cream, not water?
I'm sorry,
'cause
with
it's-
soap, super fatted soap and water. And then after that, I towel dry, and then I do a little olive oil, right? I know, you guys, I know, but like,
No, I mean, you look
my
great.
grandmother did this kind of routine, my mother does this routine, and I started doing this routine. It's just sort of habit, and my mother's 75 at this point. She's never had a facelift. She's never had any of that stuff. She looks fabulous. My grandmother passed away, but like still. And you know, and now my daughter does a 20-minute, like a faster version, but she's still doing it.
That's awesome.
So I think it takes effort. It just does. You can't just brush your teeth and go to bed. Not even when you're young. You got to prime your skin when you're young, so that as you get older, but it takes effort. I know we all think like, well, we can do lasers and we can do this and we can do that, but at some point it's just going to be us day in and day out. You can't rely on that stuff forever because it just doesn't always work. And everybody's skin is different, so just protect it. Take care of it.
So you put in and on.
That's right. Nice. That was good, Melissa. I saw
What's in
that.
here?
I see you. That was good. Yes. What you put in and what you put on. It's going to be worth every penny.
That's what I tell my kids. That matters most for your
It
health.
does. It does.
put in
Everything
and on.
else is frivolous.
Yeah.
Truly, everything else is frivolous. It just is. We don't need anything else, but we need this vessel to carry us through our lives. The better you take care of this vessel, the more it'll pay you back. And some good genetics. That helps too. I thank my family or my mother for my good genetics.
Me too, Mom.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
Whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
right?
No, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I don't
All
know.
right.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. We're done, I think.
Okay, we're done. Thank you. Thank you. This is so fun.